Macaro. La bobo. Macaroni, spaghetti, meatballs.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome to a Manager Sim special. As I always have mentioned, I will sometimes come and do some surprise specials of major things that have happened in the Manager Sim world. As you remember, a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, Burnham made an announcement that as from July the 1st, people who do not pay in the patron um, a monthly sum of about £3, something like that, will have to move over to the demo world. Well, that today's date is July the 11th, 2020, and this is the first tick when we have actually seen what the state of the game world now looks like. Now, I've only just gone into my team at Rennes, sorry, in France currently. This is my main account. I'm one of the few exceptions now in the actual game world that has got more than one account, because the Lord Donut account still exists in this game world, because I will use the Lord Donut account to do a couple more specials. As you may notice if you've keenly watched the intro screen, the Manager Sim series has now changed from the Manager Sim Phoenix series to Manager Sim Beyond the Phoenix. So this is beyond, as in the next step of what's happening in the Manager Sim game. And this is a major step because we at first had around 96 managers, many of them on multiple accounts, and now that has gone down. That went down to around 86 and then 83, and then today or tonight in the UK, it's now gone down to the core accounts, which is just 53. We've now got 53 people actually in the game. Some of these might still be some multiple accounts, so we might have even less than this maybe in the next couple of ticks. But these are the managers who, most of these are patrons who have now put money into the game every month, and they will have to continually put money in every month to keep their side. A lot of other people, maybe also some famous players who've played this game, have actually now left, officially now left, because they've all been booted out, and now they are currently going to be playing in the Manager Sim demo world. Now, this demo world obviously is not going to be regularly updated as this patron game world, which is still the Phoenix series. You can still find the Phoenix series in the same way as you can find the other game worlds, but the only difference is to this Phoenix series is that you have to pay again monthly patron fee to Burnham on his patron site. Now, access to the patron site, you can get that from the last episode, episode 15 of the Phoenix series. If you look at that, that will give you details on how to get on the patron site. There's no point me repeating it now. This is beyond the Phoenix though, so this is the first episode of what the game world now looks like. Again, I'm not going to do this regularly. This is going to be just specials because things are going on in my life now, but I still like to do these Manager Sim specials when certain events happen. And again, this is a certain event. So what we're going to do today is that we are going to go and visit other countries and see what notable sides have now lost their managers. And there is a big one to start off with. We go to England. England's the first one we go off to. I will zoom in a bit more actually so you can see what's going on. Hopefully, and then I'll just check to see what you're streaming, what this recording screen is like. Yeah, that's not too bad. You can see what's going on. The big noticeable difference is what you see at the top of the table. Tottenham Hotspur's manager has gone, which means Tottenham Hotspur's manager, which was Mohamed Youssoufal, has been fired. He is still in the game though, but as you can see, it's 2nd of July, but he has been fired. So he has left his job because he hasn't been looking at the site for 9 days. So that could be a multiple account, or that could be just someone being kicked out. Well, no, it wouldn't be actually someone kicked out because he's still in the game. So it looks like it's non-activity. It's been 9 days. So straight away, someone's actually applied for the job. So that is a noticeable difference. Let's go to see other countries. Let's keep it with Premier League England and see if I notice any others. I think there's a few people from these sides that have left. I think, let's have a look. Yes. Felipe Santos of Wolverhampton has been fired. He's now not in the game anymore. Again, he was activity was 1st of July. Ah, yes, these managers could still be in the game, but if they've been fired, they don't get ranked. So again, going back to Tottenham, I think this guy, the manager of Tottenham, which was Mohamed, has been fired, and so he's not in the game anymore. So it's probably, it could be a multiple account, or it could be something completely different. So the noticeable differences in the Premier League is Tottenham's lost their boss, and Tottenham were unbeaten, and they were 8 points clear. So whoever takes that job, whoever it could be, then they've got a good stable squad there because the Tottenham Hotspurs tied are very well. They're currently in UEFA Cup. They were knocked out of the Champions League. They have got some really good players, some really good young players as well. Um, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see who gets that job, if anyone wants it. A couple of really players on high wages like this guy here, Jermaine Cox, 135,000k wage, but you can see his stats. His stats are amazing. He's only 20 years old, so it's probably worth that. So that's England. That's the Premier League. Championship. Ah, my Oxford's lost. Oxford has lost their boss. Oh God, this is tempting for me. This is tempting for me because I am Oxford United fan. I'm a massive Oxford United fan. So they have lost their boss, which means that was Dave Skinner. Dave Oliver is gone. Dave Oliver has then therefore been fired. He was another July the 2nd boss, so he's gone. So Oxford have lost their boss. I have to think about that if I do that or not. And there's a couple other big sides actually in this league. If we go to League One, yeah, there's still two. Well, Bury and Oldham are still there. Let's go to Spain. Has any big bosses lost their jobs there? Real Madrid did have a human manager. I think they've lost their job. Yeah, Nuno's gone. So Real Madrid have lost their boss. So that's another notable manager now that has gone. Um, I've actually got a list of sides that I think I've lost. Let's go over to Ireland. Ireland had a few managers, North and South. Bohemians have lost their boss. Stephen Woodhead has left, and a really nice guy, famous player of the manager sims. It's sad to say goodbye to Stephen, but he has gone. So Bohemians will be looking for a new boss. That's a good alternative to people who do not want so much pressure. And his squad is very young as well. So that's a possibility there. We go to Northern Ireland. Crusaders, who were easily winning their league, have lost Glenn Doran, who of course is our famous dart player, but of course we knew that somebody else was looking after his account, and so he's now gone. And Crusaders have got a really good side, quite a big side as well, about 30 players. So that's a noticeable another player gone. Of course, with all these big managers gone, you'll know that big clubs will now be going after all these big players because players with just one account, like Fritz, for instance, at Bournemouth, he'll be starting to now. Fritz is still in the game, obviously. He'll be now starting to look at other sides and seeing what he can get from them, cheap prices and stuff like that. It's just how the game is. Let's go to France. Saint Etienne have lost their boss. Saint Etienne's boss was Cedric Coombe. He has now been kicked out. So that's another noticeable boss going. We go to now. This is the side when I was Dynamo Tbilisi side. These are the side that oh, my Dynamo Tbilisi in the Champions League. We didn't do very well. I kind of gave up in the end because I knew we were in such a tough group. There we go, Barrow. They knocked us out, and they now have lost their manager. Stefan Peterson has now gone. Barrow, who were the Bulgarian champions, it's highly unlikely a manager will come back, go to this side. They'll probably take one of the bigger sides. No disrespect to this side here, but that's goodbye to them. So I'm going to expect a lot of these players are now going to be headhunted by big sides. So if any sides have got a lot of money, I think some of these players will be going. We go over to, let's look at my list of other sides that have got noticeable. We have lost a manager in Germany. Um, Borussia Mönchengladbach have haven't had. Oh, I thought they had a manager. No, they didn't have a manager. It was they did have three teams. I think it was in Leipzig. Leipzig. Yeah, go Leipzig. There you go. Yeah, Bella Goodman has gone. So another casualty. Looking at my list, we have got around 40 teams that did have managers have now left. So we from 86 managers down to 50 odd now, plus some multiple accounts as well. If we go up to Scotland, say goodbye to only one team left in Scotland now. Celtic have lost their boss. Gary Hellis has now left, and so goodbye to them. Oh, that jumped twice there. I think Rangers didn't have the boss. Was it Ross County? No, it's just Celtic. Sorry. There's been some bosses leaving in Portugal. Porto have now lost their boss. Um, Emilio, another famous name of the manager sim, he's now gone, so it's another sad day to say goodbye to him. So, but he probably hasn't been in the game for about 8, 9 days, to be honest with you. We've also lost some managers in Turkey. Uh, or have we? I thought we did lose some. Okay, we haven't lost any managers in Turkey. We might have, but I can't see them. Uh, but I think we've lost another big team have lost their manager, Juventus, who remember were relegated then came back up. They've lost their manager. So Juventus is another side people could possibly go for, and they're building up to a really good side there as well. Quite pretty some old players though, so not as good as you think they would be. But that is another team that's noticeably lost. Oh, some teams I forgot to pick up in England. Chelsea have lost their boss. So the manager Alessandro Taroto has gone. So Chelsea will be looking for a new boss, and they've got a really quite. There's only 21 players. Oh, massive fitness problems. So you can see this guy has not been here for hasn't been back into the side since 9 days, and the computers instead put all these players in the side, and massive problems there. Yes, Tottenham Hotspur again, probably the top side that have lost their boss. We've got, of course, Wolves again here in England have lost their boss. Perugia. Perugia in Italy have lost their boss. And Perugia were in third place in Italy Serie B. Their manager was Phil Aston. Phil Aston is no more. He has left. So again, a lot of these could be multiple accounts, which is very sad. Oh yes, the club in Turkey that I think has gone was Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce. Oh no, Fenerbahce still got their boss. Okay. Oh, but Lucio will probably go very soon because look at the date, 2nd of July and it's 11th. A lot of 2nd of July managers have gone, so it might be due to his manager level that he's actually still here. But expect that job to go. So eventually, I was kind of right. We go back to Spain. Real Zaragoza have lost their boss. So we go around here. Zaragoza were fourth under Lewis Bailey. So Lewis Bailey is no more. So Zaragoza have not got a boss anymore. So anyone who's left in the game, there's quite a few big sides that could be here for you. Sweden have been hit hard. Norrköping have lost their boss. Wise Owl has left after the 2nd of July. Hammarby are still there, which I was surprised. Dave is still there, and he has been in the game really frequently, so Hammarby will still be there. That's good news, at least. But Norrköping have gone, so that's another notable side that have lost their boss. We'll go back to England again, and a few other changes. Newcastle United have lost their boss. Graham Brown has been fired. So this is quite brutal. And you can see why he's been fired. He has actually not been in the game since literally 3, 4 weeks ago. So his reputation at Newcastle must have been pretty high. It also will stay in England for Bolton Wanderers, the famous side that have been doing really badly in the English League. They're now going to be a League Two side. So let's try to find where Bolton are. There you go, Bolton Wanderers here. They're fifth. So this guy here, I can't pronounce his name. He has been fired. So Bolton do not have a boss. We'll stay in England again. So you can see a lot of changes have been England. So Millwall lose their boss. Dennis Ames has gone. So you can see there's quite a few managers have gone, which is very sad. And the final, I'm going to go back to Turkey because there's another team I think. Oh no, they're still there. But Fabio, 2nd July. So there will be at least 2 more managers leaving. So the figure that we've got at the moment of 53 bosses, that I feel is going to go down further to around 40 odd. These are the only managers left in the game at the moment. But some of these, like the Bury boss, Kevin Fontana, very famous name there, he's going to leave very soon. What about Besiktas? Yes, Besiktas boss is going very soon. Djurgården, he's probably going to go very soon. Let's carry on looking at these sides and see. Sadly, all these players I'm clicking on will be going because they have not logged in for a long time. Cantona is going to stay, so he's at least we've got someone who is staying. Hubert is staying, that's good. Harold is staying, but that's I think about at least 8 more managers there who could be going. Morton, thankfully, is staying. Let's carry on. So that's 8 more could possibly be going. Let's carry on looking. Yuan, you're staying. Andre, are you staying? Yes, you are. Good. There's Lord Donut, of course, he's staying. Heiko, yep, you're staying. Dennis, staying. Fritz is staying. Martine, staying, because all these dates are current. Jose, staying. Good. Artuno, staying. Of course, I'm staying. Eric is staying. That's good. I can't find any other people at the moment whose date is earlier than July the 1st or 2nd. If we can find any on July the 1st or 2nd, I'm now going very quick through these, then they will be kicked out within the next day or so, or even sooner. And then we go to the top 20 managers. Any of the top 20 managers could be leaving at the moment. At the moment, we can't find any, which is great news, which means I could only find 8 bosses out of the 53 that will be going very soon unless, well, something happens. Again, those who are not in the game anymore, you can still come back to this game world if you become a patron. And again, the patron details are in my Phoenix series episode 15, which was released I think 2nd June. So if you check for that on my YouTube channel, then you can find out how to become a patron member, or if you also go into the beginning screens of the Manager Sim before you log into your account, there is a patron option there. But yeah, it looks like all these players here are have all logged in the last day or so, which is great news, which means I got a feeling the only players that I won't be logged in, so will be kicked out, oops, will be some of these guys here, so about 8 of them. So I think the true number of players, managers now playing the game is 45, minus maybe 2 or 3 more teams because some of them are allowed to have multiple accounts for various reasons, which are myself and I do not know who else. So let's just have a quick tour of what the league status looks like. Well, we hear who's doing well, who's doing badly, with bearing in mind that of course that some managers have now left, so there will be some changes. So currently Tottenham are top of the table on by 8 points clear, but again Tottenham have just lost their manager, so things can now change. Wigan, the side that started off in League One, coasted through League One, coasted through Championship. I find it slightly tougher in the Premiership, but they're still doing very well. We've got Morton at Man City who's third. We've got Mike at Man United fourth. The guys are having pretty bad seasons. Fritz is AFC Bournemouth, but he's putting more into the European Champions League. Championship, obviously we know Oxford have lost their boss. Portsmouth will be favourites to take over the top of the table because new bosses means he could lose a lot of things. So that could be something to change there. We'll go to Spain. Currently Atletico Madrid are ahead of Barcelona. Looks like that's going to be just between those 2 teams. No sides in the 2nd division. Portugal, it's between Belenenses and Benfica at the moment. We know in Belgium that Stefan has left Antwerp quite a while ago. So Belgium has also lost its other human managers. So Belgium has got no human managers in that side anymore, which is sad to see. Netherlands is between Ajax and Utrecht. In Germany, Bernens, Bayer Leverkusen are having a good ding-dong battle with Borussia Dortmund. I personally went into Bayern Munich for a little while, but I didn't really enjoy Germany that much, so I actually left and went to France because I'm in France, and so let's talk about France. Grindcamp, another side that's gone up the leagues, are doing really well. They're currently top of the table, and amazing goal difference, 89 goals in just 20 games, so they're going to be dominant. Nimes, the big change is that Paris Saint-Germain, basically during the last couple of ticks or weeks, they actually sold the majority of their players. So that means they are now struggling down in 11th place. My Reims side are currently top of National League. Now that might change because I might go for another side now. So a lot of these sides are being vacant. I do not know where I'm going to go. I might not even go to Oxford. That might seem the logical choice, but I might go somewhere else. Who knows? We go to Italy. Italy, a very competitive league. Inter Milan are top, but only on goal difference. And second is Milan. That makes some home derby games interesting, wouldn't it? Inter Milan, whose manager is Michel Hol. Milan's manager is Thiago, the current holders of the last two seasons. So it might be quite nice to see someone else differently winning the Italian league there. Um, Scotland, we just know there's just Hearts who are winning that, so there's no point going there. Portugal, we've seen that already. There's no real other big leads to look at unless people comment and say what you want me to look at. But with the lot less managers going on, we can concentrate on just a few leagues now. Sweden, Hammarby are still top and they're 13 points clear. Dave Oliver's youth team experiment that we had in the Phoenix series is still there. You can still see he's got a very young side. He actually sold half his talent though, so I'm very surprised he's actually still with Hammarby because I thought if he was going to sell all his talent, he was going to actually move on. But Harmony are still top of the table. And the final bit of this beyond the Phoenix episode is we're going to the international cups. Champions League, you can see that Fritz is concentrating a lot more on the Champions League than the league because Bournemouth are doing really well on the table. Currently, Man City, Inter Milan, and Lazio. Italy are very strong in the Champions League. You can see that five, of their sides have made the 16 places. England's got two sides. Germany has got just one, but that's a big E. Obviously, that's Burnham. Uh, France has got one. Denmark's got one. Switzerland. France has got two, sorry. Turkey's got one. Holland's got one. Spain has only got one. So yeah, five of these sides, and Scotland's got one, and five of these sides are Italian. So you can see who's more dominant here. UEFA Cup. Um, Still wide open. England are doing much better here. Germany are represented in this much better. Um, my Dynamo Tbilisi side got knocked out in the Champions League, so early stage as we saw earlier. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So there you go. This is the Beyond the Phoenix special, just to tell you what's been going on in the Managersim world. I will do another episode sometime in the future. I hope you like this one. And yes, please put in the comments. And also let me know how the demo world gets on because obviously I don't have access to the demo world because I'm in this game world. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you like this special and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.